Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first official episode of the Project Underground podcast. I'm Conduit. I'm coming to you guys from the wonderful province of Saskatchewan, and I wanted to start with you guys because I didn't really know what else to do for the first episode. I thought this might be pretty useful, so I want to read this with you guys, which is basically the DBT skills and training 12-week course that I actually got from the Sask Health Authority for free. I was on the wait list for about 2 years to get this information and knowledge, and I attended the course for the 12 weeks. And this is going to sort of deal with mental health stuff and like how to increase your mindfulness and things like that. I'm not claiming to be an expert on these things, but I just thought that this might be a fun and cool kind of piece of information to go through with you guys, just to sort of, share this information because it was given to me for free, and I only had to pay with the time that I had to wait, those 2 years to get into the program. So I want to save you guys time in getting the same information roughly that I did. I would recommend, looking more into this stuff if you want to get a real understanding by the experts. But basically, I'm going to be reading from the booklet here. Whether this is going to be a recurring thing and go through the full 12 weeks, I don't know. But I at least wanted to take the first episode here and go through the first week, which is week 1. And that would be the introductions in mindfulness, goals of skills training, the wise mind method, quote unquote, what skills, and observe. And I forgot to mention, DBT stands for dialectical behavioral therapy. It's an effective treatment for people who have difficulty controlling their emotions and behaviors. Wow, that describes me very well. DBT aims to replace problem behaviors with skillful behaviors. It helps people experience a range of emotions without necessarily acting on those emotions. Helps teens navigate relationships in their environment, family, school, peers. Although I'm sure everybody could take a little bit from it. DBT helps people create a life worth living. What does dialectical mean? It means two opposite ideas can be true at the same time, and when considered together, can create a new truth, a new way of viewing the situation. There's always more than one way to think about a situation. And I think that's good, I can definitely agree with that just on a base level if we're not getting into like religion or politics, which I am trying to avoid, at least for the first little bit here of the podcast, because I don't know. Yeah, I'm just trying not to say some shit that'll get me, done before we get going here pretty much. So, but continuing on, we have this kind of image of, you can't see it very well, but it's kind of like a pyramid structure at the top. It says a road to a life worth living, and then it breaks off into 2 different sections where you have the problems and then your solutions and then actions specifically that you want to decrease and increase. So the first action you want to decrease is confusion about yourself. This means identity issues. Your mind controls you instead of yourself. And you would want to increase mindfulness to work on that. Self-observation and awareness is a core skill. You also want to decrease impulsivity, acting before thinking, tolerating distress, would be the way to directly contact that. Emotional instability. Fast, intense mood changes with little control or a steady negative emotional state with difficulty experiencing positive emotions. And emotional regulation would be improving emotional control, remembering it is not possible to totally control emotions, reducing vulnerability to negative emotions. Interpersonal problems to decrease. Pattern of difficulty keeping relationships steady and getting what you want from others, saying no to unwanted requests. Interpersonal effectiveness would be dealing with conflicts, getting what you want and need. Say no assertively. Do this while keeping self-respect and relationships cool. And I think that's something where people are definitely getting more into saying no and making that decision for themselves, but not knowing where the line is between where that becomes disrespect and just, defending yourself, because that becomes a slippery slope sometimes. Problems. Patient and family dilemmas. The inability for the patient and family to compromise to something reasonable and fair. And you would fix that by walking the middle path, having the ability to resolve family issues using concepts of behavioralism, dialects, and validation. And that's the full pyramid right there. Definitely good things to take into account as the first idea here. Goals of skills training. General goal: to learn how to change your own behaviors, emotions, and thoughts that are linked to problems in living and are causing misery and distress. Right. Specific goals: behaviors to decrease. Mindlessness, emptiness, being out of touch with self and others, judgmentalness, interpersonal conflict and stress, loneliness, absence of flexibility, difficulties with change, up and down and extreme emotions, mood-dependent behavior, difficulties in regulating emotions, impulsive behaviors, acting without thinking, difficulties accepting reality as it is, willfulness, addiction. Skills to increase. And I don't know if willfulness is genuinely meaning like making something come true with just your will alone. I think it's meaning sort of a more negative connotation of that. Skills to increase: mindfulness skills, interpersonal effectiveness skills, emotional regulation, and distress tolerance. And then it tells you to put like personal information there, like that you would want to, like 3 things that you would want to decrease and 3 skills you would want to increase throughout the next week. And then you would come back the next week and say, how do you think you did? Just being aware with that. You don't necessarily have to be perfect, but just the act of trying to make a change is better than nothing at all. Biosocial theory. There is a biological vulnerability to emotions, high sensitivity, high reactivity, slow return to baseline, plus an inability to effectively regulate emotions. Transacting with social. An invalidating environment communicates that what you are feeling, thinking, or doing doesn't make sense or is considered inaccurate or an overreaction. Environments include parents, teachers, peers, therapists, coaches, and others. Sometimes there is a poor fit, example, temperament, between the person and the environment. And then it kind of has these images of 3 people with quotes. There's this lady. She's saying, "Stop trying to manipulate me." There's another guy who looks confused. He's looking up. He says, "There's something wrong with me. I can't do anything right. I shouldn't be angry." And then there's the third guy. He's kind of like balding with glasses, and he kind of looks like he'd sound like this. So I don't understand why you're getting so upset. Just get over it. Right? I think we've all met somebody like that. The invalidating environment punishes or sometimes reinforces emotional displays and contributes to the person's suppression or escalation of emotions, and sometimes leaves the person feeling confused and unable to trust one's own emotional experiences, i.e. self-invalidation. Over the time, this leads to multiple problems and chronic emotional dysregulation. That makes total sense to me. It's definitely a mix between your genetic predispositions, which could carry generational trauma, plus the environment, which could have the same sort of thing. But whether both can be changed, that's another question. Definitely you can change your environment. A wise mind, states of mind. It has a Venn diagram here. And on the left we have reasonable mind. And on the right we have emotional mind. And intersecting in the middle, that would be your wise mind. Right there in between logic and emotion. The reasonable mind is cool, rational, task-focused. When in reasonable mind, you are ruled by facts, reason, logic, and pragmatics. Values and feelings are not important. Facts don't care about your feelings. Emotional mind, mood dependent, emotion focused. When in emotion mind, you are ruled by your moods, feelings, and urges to do or say things. Facts, reason, and logic are not important. They're not. They really are not. The wise mind is wisdom within each person, seeing the value of both reason and emotion, and bringing left brain and right brain together, the middle path. Isn't that great? Someone please don't start a religion over this. We already have enough. Taking hold of your mind. What skills? The what skills? So you want to observe your skills. Notice your body sensations coming through your eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. Pay attention on purpose to the present moment. Control your attention, but not what you see. Push away nothing. Cling to nothing. Practice wordless watching. Watch thoughts come into your mind and let them slip right by like clouds in the sky. Notice each feeling rising and falling like waves in the ocean. Observe both inside and outside yourself. Yeah. These skills, you can shut your eyes, just do that. Identify what you will focus on. Examples, your breath, an object, a picture, a burning candle, an activity, brushing your hair, cleaning your room, reading. Bring your attention to the object of focus. When your attention wanders away from the object of focus, and sometimes it will, so don't judge yourself for it, notice that this has happened. Gently bring your attention back to the object in focus. To get started, begin practicing mindfulness by noticing your attention and how it wanders. Gradually work on doing this practice for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes at a time. Practice a lot. No one will know you're doing it. Your attention may wander to noises around you, worry thoughts, judgmental thoughts such as "this is stupid," body sensations, urges to talk, and so on. Notice them, let them go, and return to your attention to the object of focus. That is pretty much all the information for the first week here. Pretty useful, pretty compact. It's not too long, not too short. And I will say, I do remember one day showing up there and they just take us to this window in their office building. They told us as a group to look outside, just at the building in the downtown area, just across from us. It's kind of had grass. It's one of those older buildings. It looks pretty on the outside, but probably has plumbing issues. The point is, they told us just to stare at it for like a few minutes and not have any judgments about it. And it seems like really simple and shit, but that really that hit me in a different way. Like, just to say, like, look at this and don't judge it at all. I don't know if I'd ever done that, like, until that point. Maybe I have, but haven't noticed. But that's the point, I think, because once you start noticing. All right. Let's move on to a different topic now that we have week 1 of the DBT. I do have kind of a list of topics here that I want to go through eventually, maybe with guests in the future. The first one would be living in Saskatchewan. What's it like living in Saskatchewan? Well, just off the top of my head, and we could go more into this later. It's just, I don't know, like, I was born here. My family is from Greece, both sides of my grandparents both came here from Greece. Then my parents were born here, but met in Regina, but they were both Greek. So that makes me Greek, but I'm still trying to learn the language. I could never really like fully speak it fluently, but I'm working on it. Working on it on Duolingo right now. The point is, in Saskatchewan, I don't know what it's like to be the kind of person that moves over to a different country and like starts a new family or separates from your old family. Because I was born in the place where my family came in order to not have to move anywhere. So I don't know if in my timeline I'll have to do that. But Saskatchewan itself is a fine province in Canada. I don't really have much like frame of reference for other places because I haven't lived anywhere else long term. Like, obviously you can look at the news or people talking about it and see, where's up and down and the economy and things like that, and rent. But I don't know. It seems pretty alright. Like, obviously other places might be better. But I feel like with the rise in like the internet and stuff too, everywhere is almost like kind of the same. Like, people say like there's no like New York or LA or Southern hip hop anymore. Like, specifically from that area, or like same with metal or rock music. Like, areas in general don't have as much of a genre defining sound as they used to, because now every genre is like put into one. You know? Like, every single person who's of coming age is listening to every single type of music due to social media, Instagram, TikTok, all that. By the way, follow me on Instagram. I might have the link somewhere if I remember. You guys having a good time? You can't answer me. And in Saskatchewan, there's great people. You know, the best people. I don't know. I hear that your hometown will be the last place that you blow up in. And I really don't know. I don't know if that's true. I've never blown up. So we'll see. I think I'm out of juice for this episode, you guys. Remember, take care of yourself. Have a good evening. Have a good week. whenever the next time I see you or you listen to me. And yeah, fucking just rock on, man. Just keep going forever. Alright, bye.